Hi, I'm Katie North, founder and CEO of North Financial Advisors. So if you find yourself in this position of having achieved career-wise, maybe salary-wise, the things you wanted to achieve, but aren't feeling quite fulfilled or don't feel like it's all that it's cracked up to be, what I think you should do next is start to work on getting clarity around where you've been, what you've achieved, and how you'd like things to be different in the future. And the first thing I would say when you start this process is to just start getting more clear with yourself. I really like the idea of putting pen to paper. Typing on a keyboard is great, but there's just something mentally about pen or pencil to paper where you write things down, which is just a really great kind of brain-body connection, and you can usually achieve a lot more. So try maybe journaling a little bit and getting a little bit more clarity about where you've been and where you hope to go, and see if that starts to spark some ideas for you. The next step would be to think through not just where you want to go, but also think through how that's going to look financially for you, right? If you're thinking about making a big career change, finances are going to come into play. And with that, you're going to want to make sure you're carefully balancing your current self needs with your future self needs, right? If we decide to change careers completely, where we're going to be missing out on a salary that we once had, our current needs might be suffering, and it's really easy for us to estimate and look at how that might impact us. But what we might not be thinking about is our future needs too. So future needs would include anything from all the way from the way distant future, like maybe retirement, but also just things we want to do in life in the short run. We maybe want to buy a house, we maybe want to move across the country, we maybe want to travel more. So finding a way to start thinking through not just your current self needs, but your future self needs too, is a really good exercise. And this can help not just with personal finances, but in finding that purpose and passion, is to think maybe how you would like to be remembered. What does that future self look like, really? And then you're gonna want to start transitioning some of these ideas that you have on paper to setting some really smart and specific goals. SMART actually is an acronym, and it stands for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-oriented. So the more detail that you can put and the more specificity that you can put into some of these goals and ideas that you have, the more likely you're going to be able to start achieving some of these goals. It's not enough just to say, for instance, I want to move across the country and start a business, right? You're going to have to start putting in place a plan to break it up maybe into smaller bits, smaller, more achievable goals. That are measurable, that are actionable, that are associated with dollar figures, that are time-oriented, to give yourself deadlines and get your brain working on finding the solutions to this problem. The final thing you might want to check in with yourself on is dreaming bigger for yourself. I think for a lot of us, we can get stuck in this myopic viewpoint of just simply looking at what's in front of us, or based on the experiences that we've had thus far. But it's a little bit harder to get outside ourselves and think about, if I knew that I couldn't fail, or if I knew finances were not an issue, what would I truly want? And that is a really powerful exercise to go through. So I would definitely encourage you to, what I say, dream big, right? Think about those future big, crazy kinds of goals and get those down on paper too. And you might be surprised at just how much problem solving that your brain might be able to come up with to be able to start achieving some of these dream big goals that you have for yourself.